Get in, loser. We're sharing hot takes. Hey, babes. Welcome back to MoonbaeCrochet. It's Brandy, and today, my loves, you're gonna want to go get yourself a piping hot cup of, I have tea here. Go get yourself a coffee if it's in the morning, or if you can handle caffeine at night, I don't know. Go make yourself a hot toddy. 'Tis the season, am I right? Look at my sweatshirt. It is so cute. I was influenced by the TikTok shop, but as soon as I saw this, I could not resist. Look at I don't even like the puerquitos, but dude, it's so cute. Abuelitas, nothing hits like a hot cup. Oh my God, that's what I should have had. Abuelitas, what's the matter with me? I poured myself a cup of tea because today, my loves, I am sharing with you my crochet hot takes. I usually try to keep it light and friendly on this channel, and you know, I'm still gonna do that, okay? But I felt a little spicy tonight, okay? I threw on my red lipstick. I brewed myself a piping hot cup of Fireside Vanilla Spice tea. I wish Celestial Seasonings tea had the little like string, you know, hanging out, because I just feel like that looks so much cuter, but I digress. Tonight, I don't care if I ruffle any feathers. We're sharing the hot takes, babes. So go get yourself something nice and warm to sip on while we indulge ourselves in this fun little sesh. So let's jump right into this with my top 10 crochet hot takes. And if you have any burning hot crochet hot takes, or any crafty hot takes, leave them in the comments below and let me see if I agree with you and see if I forgot to add any to this list, because I bet you I did. So let's take a sip and dive right in. The first hot take is, if you've been here since the crochet trend likes and dislikes video, you might remember this one. And it's still on my hot takes. Leggy frogs are ugly. I don't know what to tell you. They're ugly. I hate them. And I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad if you like to make leggy frogs. Like, it has nothing to do with your work. Leggy frogs just as a concept are ugly. It's like a little rectangle with, you know, round eyes at the top and just like wobbly little legs and arms, just like floppy little limbs. I don't like it. And you know what? I was actually surprised that nobody was really flaming me in those comments. A lot of people were actually agreeing with me that oh my God. See, I'm being punished already. A lot of people were actually agreeing with me that they didn't like leggy frogs either. And I was like, oh my gosh, I found my people. So many people make them and I just don't think that they're cute. I mean, hey, but people are entitled to their own opinions. Like, again, I'm a very, you know, open-minded person. I think that leggy frogs are ugly. A lot of people think that crochet turtles are overplayed, right? They're very, what's the word? It's not overhyped. What the heck is the word? I feel like... Yo, my vocabulary just fell out of my head. Hold on. It's not overhyped. And there's like another word for it that's like, you know, underhyped. That's not the word either. Oh my God. Stand by. Yo, what is the word? I'm actually so upset. You know what? I'm going to flash the word up on the screen because my brain just decided to clock out for the night. Anyways, a lot of people think that, you know, the crochet turtles and all the different types of themes are that word. But I personally don't think that, and I don't care either. I'm never going to stop making cute turtles. So, you know, if you feel that way about leggy frogs, good for you. And I hope you continue making your leggy frogs. Okay. I don't subscribe to that. I don't like the leggy frogs. Next, this one I feel like a lot of people might not agree with me on. I think that realistic, I don't even know how to explain this, but in my head, I just call them realistic looking safety eyes, the ones that look like this. I think that they're creepy. I don't like them. Now, some might say just the regular black safety eyes are creepy because like they're soulless, which fair. But I personally like that look a whole lot better. I don't like, you know, the black part being a pupil and then like having a color on the outside. Some of them are kind of okay. Like there's like glittery ones. Like I know people make them, which is cool, honestly. Like, you know how to make safety eyes? Like what? That's so cool. But I don't know, just putting them on a plushie, I feel like you gotta have the right plushie to do that on, because in most cases I find them to be creepy looking. I don't want it to look like my character actually could have like a life. You know what I'm talking about? Like I want it to look as fake as possible. I need to know that it's just a little work of art and not maybe walking around my house when I'm sleeping. So yeah, I don't like the realistic looking safety eyes personally. I just think that they're not my thing. They're not my thing. Third crochet hot take. Susan Bates hooks. suck. There is one exception to this rule. So I walked my happy butt into Joann one day thinking, okay, my crochet hooks, the ergonomic grip on them is starting to wear. I need to treat myself to some new hooks. And instead of splurging on the, what's the brand? The Clover and More hooks, I saw the Susan Bates ones and it was like a pack and they were like cheaper. So I was like, you know what? Let me try these ones out. There is not really an ergonomic grip on those. I mean, at least it's not silicone. It's not soft. So it doesn't feel great on my hand. The one upside I will say to Susan Bates hooks is that the top of them is very sharp. So I feel like the one exception to the rule of Susan Bates hooks just sucking is when you are working with chenille yarn, especially like really thick chenille yarn like a chenille Home Slim or a Sweet Snuggles Light, something thicker than like Premier Parfait Chunky or whatever. It works very well for those types of yarn because you can really get it into those stitches. And the way that the like curve of the hook that pulls the yarn is also like very deep and sharp. So I feel like it catches that like soft slippery yarn very easily compared to like a more rounded crochet hook. Other than that though, if you try to use a Susan Bates hook while working with like acrylic or cotton, I feel like it almost catches a little too much. Like it doesn't, it's not seamless and smooth to work with. So other than working with chenille yarn, I do not go for my Susan Bates hooks nearly as much as I thought I would. To me, it feels like it was a waste of money. So I don't like Susan Bates hooks. And honestly, even though I'm saying that they work well with chenille yarn, I honestly I prefer to use my Clover and Moores. So to me, you can take the Susan Bates hooks out of the cart if you've been thinking about it. But hey, everybody's different. Do what you want. I'm just saying I don't like them. Crochet hot take number 4. Chaining like 3 or 4 and then closing that chain and then working in that to make like an amigurumi instead of starting with a magic ring. I don't like it. I don't like it. Not for me personally. I love the just like seamless, like the tight closure you can get from using a magic circle. I feel like you should just push yourself to learn how to make a magic circle, a magic ring, cinch circle, whatever you want to call them, okay? Just even when I was a beginner, I was determined to learn how to make a magic ring and work into it, okay? I never was one of those people that's chaining and then working inside of the like ring that I made with chains. It's just not as clean looking to me. Again, if that's what you got to do to make your stuff work, then hey, you do you, boo. Beginners out there might be looking at me thinking, well, yeah, it's easy for you to say, Grandma, you've been crocheting for 10 years. Fair. But I just never did that. Like I would watch tutorials where they would, you know, they were like beginner friendly tutorials. So they would show you how to do it both ways. And I would just see the closure that you would get with like chaining versus a magic ring. And I always liked the magic ring closure better. And so I was just determined. I'm like, I'm going to learn how to do this. I actually have a little tutorial on my TikTok page on how to work in the round, and it'll show you like how to make a magic ring and all that stuff. And so many people like recently are kind of discovering that video. I guess maybe they're going on TikTok searching like how to crochet or how to crochet in the round or whatever, or how to do a magic ring, and my video might be popping up because I posted this video months ago. And so many people have been commenting on it lately being like, oh my gosh, like this was the first tutorial I found that was actually helpful. Like you explained it so well. Thank you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like so sweet. So I don't know, if you are a beginner maybe and you don't know how to make a magic ring, so you are constantly having to chain and make like the ring like that, maybe go check out my TikTok and check out that tutorial. Maybe it'll help you out. I think I learned how to make a magic ring from the queen, Jada in Stitches. So also maybe go check her out if you're having trouble, but just chaining instead of a magic ring. Boo. This one I feel might ruffle a little bit of feathers. No pun intended. I think crochet chicken nuggets are so pointless. They just feel gimmicky. I understand, like, it's a cute concept, like in general, I guess. And if you know somebody who like really loves chicken nuggets, okay, cool. Like make them some crochet chicken nuggets. But I feel like out of context, crochet chicken nuggets look real cute if you have them in like a little paper tray that food comes in with the red and white checkered parchment paper, and then you put the crocheted nuggets and it looks cute, right? It looks like, oh, chicken nuggets, but they're plushies, right? But what happens later? If you go to a market and you like buy somebody's crochet chicken nuggets, are you going to keep them in that little packaging forever? Like what happens if like it gets lost or something and then you just have these loose crochet chicken nuggets that like somebody's going to find it and be like, what is this? It just looks like a crocheted like brown blob. I just think crochet nuggets are useless. I mean, the same could be argued for literally any crochet plushie, I guess. They are all technically useless. Like, they're just either meant for decor, maybe they're meant for like a child to play with or something, but for the most part, I feel like people just buy them to put them up and like never touch them. So, you know, if you really like the crochet chicken nuggets and you want to put little chicken nuggets on display, you do you. Maybe the ones that are shaped like dinosaurs are a little cuter because, you know, whatever, they're dinos, but when they're shaped like just like a boot, like a McDonald's chicken nugget, what are you gonna do with that? What are you gonna do with that? I just feel like that's taking up unnecessary space, and I don't see the point. My fifth crochet hot take, and this one might sound contradictory to a video I made early in this channel where I was talking about how I slashed my prices on Etsy, but I think that selling crochet items for very little or like less than they're worth is so lame. Like, what do you mean you worked for like, I don't know, 3 hours on a plushie and you're selling it for $20? You're telling me that your time is worth $20 for 3 hours of work? That just doesn't seem right to me. But I get the logic, like you think, okay, well, you know, if I charge, I don't know, $15 an hour and it took me 4 hours to finish this item, am I really gonna sell it for $60? Like, nobody's gonna buy it at that price. I totally get that, honestly. Me too. Like, I, you know, try to price my items fairly to where like, okay, if I was gonna come and buy this item, how much would I be willing to pay? But I also know the other side of it where it's like I spent time and money and like hours, blood, sweat, and tears putting into this project. Like, why am I selling it for pennies? And I think that the people who do sell their items for what they are worth are kind of probably not making as many sales as the people who are selling their items for basically pennies. And it kind of just messes up the whole system, right? Like, it's, I don't know. Obviously, this topic is so nuanced. Like, I could probably make a whole video just on this topic, but I just think, you know, a crochet plushie about this big is worth more than $20, $25. I understand that, like, yeah, you want to get your items out there. You want people to buy them. But also, it's just kind of like you're selling yourself short, in my opinion, unless you really did make that item in like, you know, half an hour. But it's like, also, you paid for the yarn, you paid for the stuffing, you paid for the safety eyes, you paid for so much of this, I don't know. And it's a handmade work of art. That's the thing. If people want to pay like a small price for a manufactured plushie, they can go to the Disney store. They can go to like Target or Walmart and buy a stuffed animal, and it will probably also be about $20. So it's like you're expecting to pay $20, $25 for a handmade item? I don't know. I just think that that's lame, and people should start selling their items for what they're worth. Myself included, honestly. All right, sixth crochet hot take, and this is another one going back to my dislikes and likes of crochet trends. Bernat blanket still sucks. Still sucks. I will die on that hill. I did recently discover that Bernat baby blanket is a dream, okay? That I can get behind. I don't know what like the huge difference is between Bernat baby blanket and Bernat blanket, but there definitely is one, and I hate it. Bernat blanket is probably my least favorite yarn on the planet. I'd be willing to die on that hill, I think. I don't think I've ever used a yarn more insufferable than Bernat blanket, okay? It's too thick, it's stiff, not easy on the hands. That is one that you definitely have to use like a Susan Bates hook to like work with, because I just feel like it's gonna break any other hook that I use. Like, what? I actually feel like I did break one of my Susan Bates hooks working with really thick yarn. Maybe it was the Bernat blanket. I don't know. Oh my god. My worlds are intersecting here. Bernat blanket is so lame. I can't stand it, and they should really just scrap the whole thing and start over. Start over. Make it just, I don't know, fix it. Fix it, Bernat, because you are a great brand other than that, in my opinion. I don't know if I said that last one was my sixth point, because it was my seventh. I don't know. If you guys are keeping track, whatever. My eighth crochet hot take is that you are not entitled to anybody's pattern or design. If somebody worked for hours and hours designing a project. They work so hard on it. They love it. It's beautiful. They start posting it all over their social media. They're getting tons of like likes and comments and engagement on it because their work of art was so beautiful. Like, I don't know, a cardigan, for example, or a tapestry, like whatever it was. They put in the hours and the work to create that design. You, as the viewer, are not entitled to their pattern if they don't want to give it to you. Just, you know, it's okay to like be like, hey, like, do you have a pattern for this? This is so pretty, right? But if they don't respond, or if they say like, hey, no, I actually don't have a pattern, sorry, that should be the end of that, okay? You don't need to hound them begging for a pattern or demanding that they share a pattern. That is honestly none of your business. I feel like that sounds mean, but I mean, truthfully, like, they put in the time and work to hone their craft and to create this thing. And as, you know, just somebody like viewing their art, you can love it, but, you know, figure it out yourself if they don't want to share their pattern, because, you know, I don't think that there's anything wrong with somebody not wanting to share their pattern, okay? Like, I mean, some might see it as gatekeeping, you know, but I see it from both sides. Like, I have seen designs where I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. I would love to make that, right? And I go and look and see if they have a pattern for it, or see if other people are asking for patterns for it. But at the end of the day, I am never going to feel like I am entitled to receiving somebody's pattern for something, because, you know, maybe they just don't want to share it. Maybe they're like me and they just like create things and they're like, guys, look at this, look how cute it is. And then when they start getting bombarded with like, where's the pattern? Can I get the pattern? Like, whoa, guys, I didn't even create a pattern for this. I was just having fun, you know? And sometimes that's just how people operate. That's how I operate a lot of the times. Like, I am very bad at writing down what I'm doing. Sometimes I make something and then I'm like, oh, I want to make another one, but how did I even do that again? Like, I ruin it for myself by not writing down what I did. But at the end of the day, it is the designer's choice whether or not they want to share their work, and they want to make it available for other people to make as well. Like, they might want to just keep the item special for them, and we need to be okay with that. We are not entitled to these people's work if they don't feel like sharing it. I said what I said. 9th crochet hot take. As somebody who does not crochet or knit or do anything crafty, and you see somebody crocheting something cute or whatever, asking them like, oh, that's so cool, can you make me one? With like no intention of like paying for it. Or even worse, when you say, oh, if I buy you the yarn, can you make me one? Girl, this kind of goes back to like selling your items for what they're worth. Do you think that you going and buying me a few skeins of acrylic yarn that's probably going to cost like $20, and then giving it to me and giving me all this labor is going to be worth the price that this item is worth? Absolutely not. You want a cardigan? Go buy one at Target. Like, if you want to pay me for my labor and all the hours and like time that I'm going to be spending to make this item, that's a whole other story. But just saying things along the lines of like, oh, you should make me one. Oh, I would love one of those. Oh, I can buy you the yarn if you'll like make the thing. Those are dumb things to say to somebody. Sorry to say it, I'm not trying to make anybody feel bad, but genuinely dumb thing to say. I know that you think that you're doing a favor for us by, you know, supporting our business or whatever. I don't know. The people in my life, like, they don't view that as supporting my business. Like, they are always willing to pay the correct price for the items that I make them. And I do appreciate that. But there are a lot of people out there that just genuinely do not understand like how much time and effort and work goes into making these items. And so, you know, they think that like, oh, you know, buying us the yarn for the project will just like cut and dry. Like that's that. It's not, actually. And for my last crochet hot take of the night, this sort of goes back into my last point about, you know, people not really knowing like how much time and effort goes into things. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, my love, because I know there's somebody out there watching this that is just like me and loves to give handmade, crocheted gifts for the holidays. Not everyone in your life deserves a crochet gift. I will say that again. Not everyone in your life deserves a crochet gift. There are certain people that will just never know everything that you put into that. And I know when you are making your crochet gifts, I'm looking at you. When you are making your crochet gifts, I know that you are pouring your absolute entire heart, your soul, your love into this item, okay? Not everybody is going to appreciate that, unfortunately. It's not like they won't appreciate receiving the gift from you. It's not that. Like, they're not going to open it and be like, what's this, you know? They're going to be grateful for receiving a gift, but the magnitude is just a little off, okay? Some people just don't get it. The people that get it, get it. The people that don't. Take this little doll that I made, for example, okay? She's like a little Dia de los Muertos doll. Her name is Carmencita. She is so cute. She took me at least 6 hours to make, okay? My hand still hurts from making her. Like, my finger feels raw from all the sewing. If I were to give this to, I don't know, my cousin, this is just an example. I feel like honestly everybody in my life is pretty cool with like stuff like this, but for example, if I were to give this to my cousin, I feel like it would just be like, oh, like, how cute, that's so cool, like, you know, whatever. Which is fair, right? It's like, if I choose to give something to somebody handmade that they, you know, they didn't ask for this, they weren't expecting a handmade gift, you can't expect them to react in any sort of way, right? But I just know for a fact, if I were to give this to my mother-in-law, which I'm planning on doing because I don't want to just keep it around. I mean, it is very cute, but I feel like she would appreciate it like a lot. But I just feel like she would be fawning over it. Like, this is her style for sure. She loves to decorate for like every holiday. She loves like all that stuff. And I just know, like, she just knows. She's a crafty person herself. She doesn't crochet, but she does other crafty things. So she knows the time and effort that goes into making handmade things. And I just know that she would open it and just be overwhelmed with like emotion. Like, wow, Brandy took the time to make me this gorgeous handmade item. I just know this took so long, like all this, you know, whatever. And here's like basically the gist of what I'm saying is not everybody is going to understand that magnitude, which is fine. They're not obligated to. But with that being said, you are not obligated to make everybody a handmade gift. Do not kill yourself and your hands over, you know, everybody in your family and in your life to create them these handmade, like, intricate, beautiful items if they're just going to be tossed into a bin somewhere, if they're just going to be like just not loved and adored the way that you intended them to be. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody is going to have that sort of emotional spirit attached to this item that you make them. And so I just feel like you need to kind of weed out who gets a beautiful crocheted handmade gift and who gets a Target gift card. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for spending some time with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed your nice hot beverage. I hope you enjoyed my nice hot takes. I'm sorry if some of them were too like blunt or mean. And on the opposite side, I feel like if you think that I was a little bit too nice, then like these aren't hot takes, these are just facts. Like, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun. And I thought crochet hot takes would be like a fun little video topic to do. It is the start of November, people. It's my birth month. And before anybody gets it twisted, no, I am not a Scorpio. Just kidding, sort of. There's a few good Scorpios out there, I know that for sure. I have just only ever met maybe like 3 of them, but whatever. I am a Sagittarius, okay? And yeah, so I'm just like so happy we are finally in the best 2 months of the year. Honestly, September and on is the best time of year, but November and on is truly like the bread and butter of the whole year. You know what I mean? I mean, it's Christmas. Can you guys believe it? And no, I'm not skipping Thanksgiving, okay? Thanksgiving is a day. Christmas is a season. That might be another hot take for people. I don't know. But I'm about to go put on Home Alone and decorate my apartment. Ayo. But anyways, I appreciate you guys so much for joining me today. What are your crochet hot takes? Or even if you're not into crochet, if you're into another type of craft, leave your hot takes down below. I would love to hear them. I love getting into conversations with you guys. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you've been showing me lately. Like, I just really, I'm loving this community we're building. You guys, it means so much to me to see new faces all the time, to see your lovely comments. You guys are truly the best. I cannot put into words just how much I appreciate everything you guys do for me all the time. I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week, month, night, whatever you guys are having. Please enjoy yourself. I will be back very soon with another fun crochet related video. Ooh. Also, there's a lot of noise going on in my living room right now, which would indicate that the Dodgers just won the World Series. So, yay for a California team. Shout out Otani, shout out Mookie Betts. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I hope everybody gets your cozy on, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.